on the 30th Saturday. This is a document. Zoom in. See? Hampshire County Council. Oh, how convenient, that's just gone off. Mate downloaded it off the website of Northamptonshire County Council, and it's Northampton Adults and Services PDF file. So I'm going to zoom back out. This is a crucial bit where they're not informing me as a disabled individual, and it's not very clear on, because you can tell it's them because of the colours of their website. Who qualifies for assessment? Well, assessment can be put on hold. You need to go and take a paragraph. And this has never been provided to me, by the way. Promoting a well-being. Oh, hiya, Dorf Brown. Hello. How are you all? Greetings to you too. This is all about United Kingdom, and I don't know anyone else, but it's going to where it says Care Act for Disabled People and the Carers 2014 it's called, but this is public building, well, public service in my area, cutting costs, and what they've been trying to do recently again. My mate's trying to balance the phone as well as get to trying to multitask. I'm coming to a point where we just found an it's trying to get through to cursor. Right, so I'm going to get to the point that I don't know many people know about this, because I was not informed. Right, principle. Who's going to bloody know all this, right? Principles of Care Act 2014, and those is another section. Local authorities, statute law, it's all bloody new statutory framework for adult safeguarding. Well, I know that. Okay, so we've got the care reform, the bit my mate pointed out. Okay, you've got the Equality Statute Law 2008. Can't speak now. Tired. Got human rights. So the bit that highlighted jumped out at me. There's no qualities going on. I can't even say how, but here is where it's crucial, right? Why has nobody highlighted a social services employee? Can you hold the phone for me? Right. Where's that pen? I'm going to have to point the pen because this device is too far away from me. Okay. In my area, it's called NHS Continual Fund. It's a better fund budget, and every town and city in the UK is meant to be having the same process. Clinical Commissioning Group, so CCG. Now, my mate did an email for me, and I'm too exhausted to do more because I needed a break today because I've been on all this all week trying to figure out what's what. Right, the Care Act specifies, don't go off this laptop, social care needs. Hold on. This is what gets me, right? My home is not repaired for over a year now. And this is something I was reading through briefly the documentation in statute law, because there's so many sections, and the key one, adults in need of care and support, right? So in this area, I meet the criteria for initial assessment. Still no guarantee that a decision is made. Now here we go, here it is. It's a policy which I was not informed, and I'm dropping everything. Yeah. I don't know what this is. The policy is for adults with social care needs. They've been in, well, this might be different in towns and cities where you may live in the United Kingdom. I don't know what it's like in different countries. But this is written as a document. picking out the brief. The director is Catherine Ainshaw of Northampton County Council. Northamptonshire Adult Social Care Director, who will take part in the assessment review of an application for criteria. But that was not the quite bit I wanted to point out. That's interesting. I've gone through the induction bit, so it's really just skipping through. And I think it's bloody statute law. I mean, it's replaced, enhanced, and implemented US 16. Care and support statutory guidance. Well, obviously, they haven't downloaded that just yet. Recognising, here we go. They're not doing anything recognising. Strengths and preferences and putting them at the centre of their own care and support. Sorry about the noise. My mate's got a washing machine on. I can't do much about that. And then it's meant to be, this is what I'm going to try and zoom in on. I can't see because it's too bloody dark. Alright, so I'm just going to have to try and highlight this bit. Oh, it's frustrating. How bloody just complicated all this is. Right, so basically it's something to do with, where was it? Did you just move it? My mate's trying to move the cursor on the device. Well, there's nothing simplistic in well, we just, I think, was something. Oh, bloody noise. I should have made this video afterwards. Why can't washing machines be quiet? Okay, so where's that bit I wanted to... I was trying to highlight and I forgot it. Oh, here we go. Recognise the individuals who have strengths and preferences and putting them at the centre of their own care and support. That's not happening. Where's my pen? Where's the camera? There we go. It's not happening for me. And wider than just self-direct support and personal budgets. Well, that's the case. Why isn't certain individuals pushing on me, the very certain care company, who are, and I've got all these previous proof of posting and type letters from 2012, 2014, and what happened to me in my own. Then I don't consent. And there was a bit where they can stop assessments, and this is concerning. Sorry about the noise, it's going off again. Okay, so public servants in their job role called local authorities should do everything they can to prevent, postpone, and minimise people's need for formal care and support. It's too late. I ended up in hospital. I ended up needing to see what could be offered, not by the start team. As the first 6 to 8 weeks, then they assess you if you need care or not. Well, excuse me, they're not social workers. And they just have, like used before, what happened to me. There's a woman called Fiona. There's both Caroline, Sarah. I've got this previous documentation, made a note who's involved before. Previous public servants who absolutely just did not do anything they should have done it all along. And now all this. So they have the old care records. It's called Care First Data Records. So the document of assumptions have already been made and counteract. And there's a document on their complaint data record system, which I know they have, because I ended up having harm alarm, distress, harassment, disability, hate, crime towards me. That was even since September 13. I've got all the times and dates and everything all typed up. And that was holding public servants who failed to offer a personal budget, then you see. Choice and control. So it all went on before, and there's still reduction. So if it's claiming all these in words in their national policy in the United Kingdom, well, how come the key decisions are, here we go, that paragraph. The individual communities, local authorities should do everything they can to prevent, minimise forms of support. Well, they messed me up and caused lots of problems, so I had to protect my life in 2013-14. My sister, the old lawyer, knows what happened before. And so does the public servants, and they can't be bothered to look on the computer notes at their job to make sure it don't happen again this time round. They're not empowering, and they're making key decisions without me. Yeah, without my consent. So, the purpose, I mean, this is from Care Act 2014, is that if you meet the, well, how do I know, how does anyone know, if you meet the National Assessment Framework, that allowing the ability criteria for public funded, and they got this Care Act 2014, and they got supporting regulation statute law. And this is final publication. It's on our website. And it's 23 pages long, which are not printed out because I ain't got that ability to do all that. So here we go. Assessment ability policy for adults and care services. It's not been updated on our website, by the way. Then it goes into about mental health capacity, 2005 personalisation policy. Adult social care, your financial, if you're on benefits, CWP, which again, there. NHS adult care transport information, well, by the way, you're paying. The scope. So, there is adults in need of care. Right. I'm just talking through this as I video this straight. Policy applies to adults with social care needs, okay? Over 18. It covers older people. All due respect, I've got a relative that is getting everything she needs, but it's going through the NHS, continuing care. Nobody has bothered to consider that for me. Because obviously my medical needs as well, physical. Yeah? And they could have had a pulled in budget joint. I don't know how it worked, but I just found there is that in place. Better fund nationally. It's called Department. I think it's called Social Health Care, Department of Health in that area, something like that in UK. I saw it the other day. It goes just trying to skip through speed read, but read through the important bits. So, those who experience mental health, ill health, it includes people who pay for their own care, as well as adults with social care needs. There's a bit that jumped up at me, which we're trying to find, which I don't know if anyone else has been informed about this. I haven't. And why is that buzzing above my head? It's a bloody light that's buzzing above my head. Regulations under the Care Act 2014, adults statutes set out how assessments of adults with social care must be carried out. Ensure the needs of the whole family considered. Well, yeah, that's a joke with my family. It takes account of the needs of the individual. The key words I use in there, the impact on the needs of the whole household, well, it's just me, so I don't know how that relates. they're rushing the decision making, they're rushing things, which is concerning me, big time. And it goes on various other clauses of the Care Act 2014, the relevant bit, which I'm still trying to find, how they can pause the assessment. And the problem is, I need all of these up-to-date medical stuff for this DWP, the PIP too. I have no clue how to start. Like how, when you got no bloody shower, you can't use your medical equipment. Your conditions is a hugely major health and safety risk. There's no way any company employee will be allowed to come into my home. And it's a struggle for my friends as it is. That's why I end up in hospital with serious ill health. It's not got any better. It's getting worse. Because of its Hungary limited company, right, employees in my area and nationally are breach of duty of care in tenancy, housing law, statute law as well. They refusing to offer. I offered to move out ages ago this time last year, in October, before I got ill, to a place at Blackpool at meet my needs, and they offered to pay for things. Everything's been blocked. And there's 2 blokes behind it. I know who's behind that and why. So is there someone can move permanently? Like a place that's on site? But I'm finding I'm 2 years out. I don't meet the age group because I'm too young. So here we go. Social care needs. So they're responsible for meeting my needs. Assessments may identify which other, and it's not agencies, it's companies. The procurement and contracts are with others. And there's no guarantee those managers and directors of those companies will make sure that you get your rights protected. This is business at the end of the day, how they work. They're meant to, all in their policies. So these agents have their own set, they have their own set of policies to determine how to support, and services will be provided to people and include, for example, such things as housing. Well, that's a joke, because this housing company, all along I said, well, is it a disabled facility grant issue, funding issue to repair the wet room, which they would take care to do, and they claim no. So therefore, I went to all these various lawyers, you name it, I've done it over the year. And all I come back to square one to say, oh, it's a housing company responsibility. Well, yes, it is, I know that. But you try and get them to do their bloody job. And actually, it's not just me. There's, go on to Facebook page and type in housing, Home House Association, or Home Group page, see that comes up, and check out the reviews of the repairs section. See what people are saying about the company, and even families of children. So it's not about me, my position, and my ill health, medical equipment, it's totally unsafe. It's risk element, health and safety major. They don't care, you see. Once they get their rent for the profit board directors. Anyway. NHS responsibility for meeting continual care and health needs. Okay, so NHS England funds GP practices. You won't believe how much a contracts a public purse is paying for them, but anything NHS. So why has that not been mentioned, to continual healthcare, in any conversations or any emails for a period of weeks, months? I've been so ill with dental health. And here we go. What they should do, the title role is like care managers or social workers, right? The Care Act specifies The Care Act 2014 specifies that requires the council, i.e. employees, public servants, social workers, to refer any individual who is identified as being able, criteria-wise, for assessment for NHS continuing healthcare, to be referred to one's area clinical clinician group. That's where my mum's family comes from. That's where she gets all the care she needs. Rightly so, because she's not very well. But I have not. They have failed to look at that. And inequalities is happening. And that there is no equality of all recognising. And the discrimination is just... And the equality, diversity and human rights is all here in black and white. Well, on the computer anyway. But anyone can find this on. Go into Disabled Rights website. Find out for yourself. Care and support based on the clear outcomes and founded on human rights and equality, really. So why are they pushing it on to very people? Individuals are family in control of their care and support, okay? Access to public funded support based on clear, fair and consistent criteria. It's not the rushing the Care Act 2014 on me. They're not even offering any equality, any accessible format in any documentation because they're cutting corners. I can't emphasise how unsafe that is. The right balance between safety and risk to promote choice and independence. They're not doing that. They're not doing this. Not to me. Not to me. They're not with me at all. None of that. None of that. None of it. So, because of the cutbacks, yeah, it's all in statute or what they're meant to do, but they're not implementation of it. Not implementing it at all. It's a lawful requirement. How will the needs be met will differ from individual to individual. Yeah, I know that. But they're literally rushing everything. So Care Act reform for adults and carers, divisions, National Assessment Framework for Adults and Care, a new system for funding and charging, a new static adult safeguarding. I need some basics, but the bit that I can't seem to find, again, we just lost it, so much of this stuff, where they can halt any assessment offer. And they made that clear. None of the meetings, none of the documentation was made this clear. My mate found this out for me. Here we go. Independent living is part of essential well-being. Well, I'm living unsafe. And they don't really give a monkeys. Promote my well-being, they're not even doing that. Personal dignity. Treat an individual with respect. Well, what happened then, you public servant, on the 15th of June 2018? What were you saying to me on the phone? Protecting, you're not protecting. You did nothing. You caused me the emotional distress. You caused me victimisation. We know you did. Yeah, so that's what's meant to happen. Protection from preventing abuse, controlled by individual over day-to-day life, including of the care and support provided and the way it's provided. So I don't consent to a certain care company, your public servants you've been offering pushing on me. Never. That's why, NHS side, I had to highlight that. This is a joke. Sustainability of living accommodation. Yeah, really. I produced a document the 12th of the 2nd, 2018, a copy into that public servant, right? Showing a fully rebuttal on what she assumption to aid their assessment process and identifying the factual information from my housing needs. And the outcomes that I require, they ignore that. The outcomes related to individual social care need. You see, they implemented this in their own sort of interpretation. And I really would like to see the actual importance with the, because it's all, here you go, the importance of being with the assumption that individual best placed to judge your well-being. What the hell, what they bloody well making sure they're doing the right job then? It's all in black and white on their policy, and it's not been implemented because of cutbacks in certain departments. Before another department would take on, oh look, this is a joke. The individual's views and wishes and feelings and beliefs should be taken into consideration, the principles and standards. Hello, Northampton County Council, public servants. Why aren't you doing that then? Importance preventing and delays of care and support, reducing needs. That's why they want to push in that first claim to be free is no, it's about what you can and cannot do, rehabilitation. Well, already happened before. My unfortunate situation is permanent and long term. That's why they claimed, before they can take over the case, a long-term thing, whoever they are, requires OT assessment. Well, they can't do it now. No consent for that. It's dangerous for me, let anybody else. And they're working. So I said, well, I've already offered to move somewhere that will meet my needs. It goes on here about promoting a holistic view of an individual's life and entire circumstances, really. It's all in black and white. Here we go. Early intervention, that's the bit I think I missed. 7.2 of their document, Northampton County Council's own website, critical to the vision in Care Act 2014 and the care support system works to promote well-being, independence, reduce dependency. Okay, if you're permanently in one's position, so what do they mean by early intervention and support individuals, reducing or delaying these? And this is what they're rushing. They have to weigh out the balance with my rights as well, and they're not. Anyone else's rights, actually. Capacity, here we go. And whether they have the capacity to manage their needs or achieve the outcomes which matter to them. And this allows access to preventative support before. Okay, here we go, that's what I was looking for. So, prevention and early intervention. This has suddenly come out in an email a couple of days ago. It's not the council, for God's sake. It's Northamptonshire Adult Social Services Department on behalf of Northampton County Council. Get it right. The way they word things, when you learn about certain subjects, you know what you're looking at and what they mean by this between the lines. So before a decision can be made, whether or not, basically in a nutshell, really, is to pause. Assessment, that's what they're trying to do. They haven't worded it correctly. They're trying to say, oh, go into a care home or a place to have an assessment, a period of rehabilitation. That happened to me before, and the hell I went through, right? It's all my bloody letters. '18th of the night, 2012. Right up. Incorrect care plans, reprinted care plans to 2013 to 2014. Who is involved? OT assessment, medical review, none of the things that should have happened. No factual correct assessment, no provision of goods and services, and basically this all went reference to first care company, second care company, and then one of the care companies went bust, so the claims I had to move out. I found out that they could have put in a start team to take over, so I was lied to by former care by a female, I won't say Hampshire County Council. I've got all this typed letter, found all the documents which they blocked for me to access, but I found the records anyway. And so 27th of July 2012, a long time ago, I know, all the triggers and what the comments are saying to me caused me then hormonal stress of my own. And the refusal to put in all the attachments of my home, community care, this is the old system they had then. And all of the reports, everything, previous OT report, previous housing assessments, you name it, I've gone through it all this time. And these letters, right, prove who was involved. And then when they tried to push a review on me, well, that wasn't done right either, was it? And I didn't even consent to the particular company they pushed upon me because I was lied to about where the location was and what that's about. And now they're trying to push the same people into me, the same company, without my consent. I took a choice. So, there's still no guarantee that individuals will have offer or funding. You want something in writing. They can't say, oh, we can see if you don't have the right, are going to have the right same people involved. It's the same company, hello. So, it's in black and white. I mean, it's on their computer, on their website. So, all along, 3rd of the 10th, 2017, I called them, none of this was available. None of this, until recently, my mate found this on the website. None of it was full disclosure. That is misleading. Absolutely. And they can easily pause the assessment in the Care Act Plus 48. That is not, and this is then will be decided whether you qualify for any funding or ongoing long-term support by the public purse. And this is national UK. So if you have family, good on you. If you've got loved ones to support you, good on you. I don't. It's not my, everyone's situation is different, isn't it? So, that clause, go back to it. There. The word person, this is all in statute law. And this is on page 11 of their documentation. And under the heading of number 7. So anyone can look that up on the internet, universal services and general responsibilities. Yeah? It's never been divulged and informed by all of these key individuals I've been dealing with, not even a certain individual in the care advocate funded by the same public purse. So this is section 7.2, prevention, early intervention. That's what they mean. Be extremely careful what you agree to. Because it's that way to cut out people accessing goods and services. By individual decision making. Oh, you can do that with the right equipment. Oh, you can do that. I read it before. Just because I ended up in hospital in an emergency and the way it happened, the individual dismissed everything that she on the phone to me. And I've got medical evidence of everything that happened. Witnesses. A witness. Oh, you got a hair on that? No. So I'm going to get off here now. And just went live to say that you public servants in your job role, you have failed to inform me the lawful, correct fact that you can pause offer of a Care Act 2014 assessment process just to assess me in a private business, a different location out of my own home. You haven't made full disclosure in your recent offer, the email. If you're going to do things, do it lawfully and full disclosure and choice as it's meant to be. Whether or not you use safeguard element 2, meant to be effectively, not rush it all. Gotta go now, it's a bit noisy, take care. Please look at your rights. And those, when you're in a different location and you've got operations you need, how are you going to get the operation? How are you going to get nursing care? I need a major operation, I don't know how. And it's got really badly infected. They left roots in. It's all infected my gums. Big operation, I can't recuperate. And as I know, everything's in, choice. Yeah, just turn it off. Gotta go now. Gotta get to rest. Because I really don't know how they can pause this. If they're going to pause assessment, right, that is messed up my lawful rights. Big time. The DWP side of it all, with a pick, sorry about the noise, cut out the background noise. This public servant knows all along. I've got to go, but I'm trying to update another day.